One day, all of us meet a person whose laughter sounds like birds flapping its wings against your ribcage. I have been homeless since I was 7. Ever since an earthquake turned my home into a rubble. Now, it wasn't an earthquake that can be measured on the Richter scale, but the one that turns homes into houses. My brother left the home in the middle of the night and didn't come back for 10 days. And when he did, his eyes started resembling that of a man who had lost his will to live. He didn't talk to me anymore, didn't listen to my fairy tales. There were hushed whispers in the neighborhood that he loved a girl. He went crazy for her. At the age of 7, I wanted to ask him that, bhai, if love is for lovers, then why do your eyes resemble that of a man who has stood in front of the burning pyre all night? Why does it look like you're screaming at the top of your voice, even when you're staring at the ceiling in silence? In a game of hide and seek, why do your eyes scream, hide, 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 but you don't long to be found, not by me, not by ma, not by papa. You long to be found by someone who doesn't exist anymore. Why do your eyes scream, hide, 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 death? Please save me. I think Bhai had built a home in a person, and he spent his youth collecting people and storing them in a museum of houses. And he called the museum home. Maybe he said, hey, she is the fireplace of a winter midnight. Oh, she is the armrest of a summer afternoon. Oh, her laughter. Her laughter reminds me of raindrops hailing down on my asbestos rooftop. Bhai, why is home not a place? No, he said. Sometimes home is a person. I'll never buy that nonsense, I told him. And then I met someone. At the age of 18, his laughter sounded like birds flapping its wings against my ribcage. His hands felt like mustard oil sliding down a bowl of curry. His kisses felt like cotton candies, and his laughter and voice sounded like all the lullabies that stopped ever since Bhai came back home but never returned. He was the fireplace of a winter midnight. He was the armrest of a summer afternoon. He was the raindrops hailing down on my asbestos rooftop. And I realized that my home was a person, and I had to preserve him in a museum, because you only store those things that you fear losing in a museum. But when his hands started slipping away, and his laughter started fading away, and when I had to make do with just his collarbones and not his kisses, is when I realized that you can be homesick for a person as well. And just like that, I started resembling a girl who has stood in front of the burning pyre all night. I wanted to tell him, please don't leave me. Please don't make me homeless again. I wanted to turn into a drizzle and accompany him everywhere he went. I wanted to turn into a vagabond and make a caravan out of my homelessness and walk across the desert. If it meant that I'll get to spend just one more day with him, but all I could say was, it's okay. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. You know, breakups, they're like death. More like a person being alive and still being dead for you. Bhai used to tell me that sometimes home is a person. And well, I realized sometimes homelessness is a person as well. So, to get out of this cycle of home and homelessness and finally get closure, I took a train to Churchgate. His number was on my fingertips. His name was a goodbye bleeding from the edges of my lips. I allowed my feet to take me to his door, and all the museums of home in me were hoping against hope that our eyes will meet again as if they are meeting for the first time, and maybe he will find a home in my homeless heart again. And just then, someone opened the door. Someone opened the door, and I, at all of my 21, was standing in front of a tombstone, a ghost of someone that I had once known was staring at me, making me feel homeless yet again. Thank you so much.
To like, subscribe, and follow us, just press some of these buttons. I don't know why people keep pointing. You are educated and you can read. So just read it and do the needful. Please, we're a startup. We need your love.